Hello, I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel. This is the weekly angel card reading for the week beginning at Monday the 13th of November through to the 19th of 2017. So I'll start shuffling for Monday and see what messages the angels, I don't know if you saw that, but the one just jumped out before I could even finish my sentence. So these are the messages the angels have for us each day. I post them on my social media as well. So if you feel like you're not getting a card right away, that's okay. When you see it on the day, it will make more sense to you. And even if it doesn't, it might be something in there you need that they're flagging with you for a later occasion, or even something that someone else in your life needs to know. So this card, Steady Progress for Monday, they're telling us that we need to be patient with the process. So part of the problem is in this day and age, we're carrying a computer in our pockets and we can find out anything we want at any point of time. That makes us a little impatient about things that we cannot control. If we want to go somewhere, we just book a ticket. There's so much that we can make happen. If we want a job, we just apply for it. Don't always get it still, but there's a lot of control in our hands. There are a lot of things, however, we can't control. When we're going to meet our soulmate, how long it takes for our business to be successful, all those sorts of things are completely out of our hands. This is the angels reminding us that it does take time, and that's okay. You are making progress even though you can't see it yet. So please keep showing up, keep doing the work, and keep the faith. It is going to be okay. You just need to keep going one foot in front of the other. That's all you can really do. So Tuesday, the 14th of November. Oh, goodness. Okay, I've got a secondary card here. I'll start with this. Ask Archangel Michael to help you with this situation. So if you don't know, Archangel Michael is associated with strength, courage, confidence, and protection. So I call him the spiritual bodyguard. He is the one I talk to when I am scared, when I'm going into a situation where I don't feel safe, when I am needing confidence, maybe I'm doing a presentation or applying for a job, when I am in need of just strength because I'm finding things are getting on top of me. He's my go-to guy. It's not a guy. We're not even sure what gender. Angels don't really have gender, so I'm just using that as a figure of speech. So this is reminding you that he's here to help you. If you feel like you're weighed down too much, ask him for help. And then be open to how the situation arises. The second card here is that somebody, maybe some people watching this need some energy healing. If you, so the ways that you can tell if your energy field is clogged up or in need of a cleanse, you feel constantly drained and no amount of sleep or good nutrition or anything like that is recharging you. You see people and you just feel completely drained. You are constantly fearful even though you've no need to be. You feel like you just feel toxic. It's a hard way to define. Look, there's lots of information about this online, so it's something that your intuition will tell you though. And if that's you, you would benefit from having your chakras realigned, having some energy healing work for an energy healer, Reiki practitioner, kinesiologist, crystal healer, or you can go and do an energy clearing meditation online on YouTube. What else can I suggest for that? Energy healing. It's just asking you to have more awareness of your energy field. So I'll leave that up to you to follow the guidance that you get. It may be, I'm only going to post this card because it's the major one for that day. The other one's just a secondary one. Wednesday. Oh, whoa. Okay. Comfort. This came up for a client recently actually, and it's very reassuring actually because it's letting you know that you are being held by the universe. So please take comfort in the fact that you are not alone, you're not the only person in this situation, and you are being supported. Sometimes, sorry, I put my phone on silent. Sometimes when we are struggling, we feel like we've been forsaken or abandoned. Whenever this card comes up, I always talk about that Footprints in the Sand poem. That's quite well known, even if you didn't grow up in a Christian household, you will have known potentially about that story about how the man looking back at the sand saw that there was only one set of footsteps at the times when he was in most trouble, and the God that he's having a conversation with says, that's when I was carrying you. So please know you are being supported and carried. Ask for help for your angels. They can't do a lot for you unless you ask them for, but you're certainly not alone. They are there. and ask them for a sign if you just need reassurance that they're there, or you need reassurance that you're on the right track. But they are saying with this as well, you're going to need to be patient with how things play out. So for those of you who are going through something that seems like it's just the same thing continuing, and perhaps that's because you're dealing with a broken heart or grief, perhaps you just need to try and be patient with the fact that it will be a back and forward, up and down type situation, but know that you are being held through this process, even though it's very painful. Thursday. Oh goodness, that didn't go well. Quite proud of myself, didn't swear just then. Sometimes I'm a bit fast and loose with language, because here in Australia and in New Zealand where I'm from, swearing is more, I don't know that I would say it's totally fine, but it's more permissible than what it is in the US. So I know whenever American celebrities are interviewed on the radio here, they're always astounded that they can say the S word freely. That's totally fine here. So I am aware that a lot of you are from America, so I do try to keep my language fairly clean, but I have to say I don't have a great track record with that. So Thursday, okay. Be willing to forgive. We had a message about forgiveness last Tuesday, and so forgive me for repeating myself, but some of you are going to need to let go of a resentment or a grudge that you are holding, and the word pain is what they're emphasizing here, which is appropriate, I would say, because we're under the influence of the sign of Scorpio, which is all about the past. Sorry, I meant to say past pain when I said that was what was coming through. Scorpio is all about healing from the past in order to move forward, that kind of phoenix type rising energy. So what is it that you're still holding on to? Sometimes when people talk about things from the past that hurt them, they go, oh no, but it's not really on my mind anymore, I don't really think about it. But if you actually ask them about it, this massive emotions will just come rising up. I can't believe he did that, you know. So if your emotions are still that strong, you're still attached to it. Sometimes we think the opposite to love is hate, but actually the opposite to love is apathy. If you're like, you know, it happened, wasn't great, but not really attached anymore, that's when you know you've done the healing. It's not affecting your heart anymore, because when we're hurt, we build up these walls to our heart, and that stops us from opening fully into new love, or even more fully into the love that we have now. So who is it you need to forgive? What is it you need to forgive? And are you willing to do that? Sometimes the idea of forgiveness is just too much. Excuse me. So instead I ask people to just think about being willing to forgive, being open to it, and know that will come down the track. And as I've said before in the past, forgiveness doesn't mean you forgive the person for doesn't mean you're saying that what the person did was okay. It just means you're forgiving the act itself and saying, I don't want to hold on to resentment of this anymore, I'm letting it go. It doesn't involve the other person, it just is about you letting go. Because being angry at someone is like swallowing poison and expecting them to die. It just doesn't work like that, it just eats you up. Even when you're not aware of it, it's playing out in the backdrop somewhere. So shuffling now for Friday. That was a bit reluctant to leave the pack, but I do feel it's appropriate. Relationship. Now it's about your primary relationship. Well, when I say primary, I'm talking about your romantic relationship. And if you're not in one, it's the one you're destined for, your soulmate relationship that is in your future. But this card actually talks about primary relationship in terms of your relationship with yourself as a means to enabling that romantic relationship. So your romantic relationship is always a reflection of your relationship with yourself. If you don't think you are worthy, you will attract someone who doesn't treat you according to your full worth. So it's a very difficult one for people to understand. But if you are single, the primary message for you is to heal that relationship with yourself. What can you do to treat yourself better? What can you do to make sure that you're treating yourself the way that you would want a partner to treat you? And what are the self-limiting beliefs that are coming through that are stopping you from doing that? Perhaps it's that you have been treated badly in the past, so you have an underlying belief that all partners will treat you badly or something like that. So some self-reflection could be really powerful there. Now, if you are in a relationship with your soulmate, which is awesome, what are you doing to nourish that relationship? Are you connecting? Are you taking out your emotions on them instead of processing them in a healthy way? Are you using them as a scapegoat? Are you not making time together a priority? All those sorts of things are appropriate. Are you trying to, this is a big one for some of you, I'm being told, are you trying to hide away from a difficult conversation you need to have, or something that you need to express that you're sidestepping, avoiding? A true open-hearted relationship is about being willing to have difficult relationships. Obviously that doesn't mean, accusing the other person or blaming them or coming from a place of fear and hate. It means coming from a place of love but saying what you need to say. Hopefully that explains it for you. Ooh. I've got 2 decks here and I'm just trying to decide which is the next one, because the one I thought it was, I just got to, you know what, I'm going to go with the other one. Sorry, that's not very interesting to you since you can't see it, but trust me, I was just having a little moment where I couldn't decide, and I think I'm going to go back to where I think I just doubted myself. I think my brain just got in the way of my intuition and what my intuition was telling me. So going for Saturday now, the 18th of November. Interesting. Passion. I think we've had this for a while. Oh, we have had messages related to it. So passion is really connected to your life force, because if you don't have passion for anything in your life, you're really like one of those plants that's sitting in the corner of your house. It's not growing, it's just kind of slowly dying. I'm not saying you're literally dying, but your spirit kind of is. It is fed by passion. So what are you doing to cultivate those passions? Are you doing an activity you really care about? I'm not just talking about going out with friends. I mean, there's anything wrong with that. I'm talking about something just for you that has no end purpose and ideally doesn't involve alcohol or anything like that. Something that really nourishes you at a soul level and really makes you come alive, makes your passion sort of soar. So at the moment I'm doing a class of sketching. I am not a good artist and I'm totally fine with that. Well, initially I wasn't fine with it, but now I am. I really love the process of just putting the pencil to the paper and seeing what happens. And even if I don't like what I create, I love the process of just, it's like you get into this mindful state and my intuition is taking over. I'm not worrying about things. I'm not thinking about the future and what have I got to do when I get home or anything like that. So that's one example of something that you're passionate about. It's probably not something I would do on a long-term basis, but for right now, it's amazing because it's bringing forth my creativity. So other things that you're passionate about might be spending time with your dog. Can you make more time to do that? It might be, oh goodness, there's any number of things you could be passionate about. Obviously, if you're in a relationship and your sex life is hitting a brick wall, this volcano is symbolic of some sort of passionate climax, I guess I could put it. So maybe, and your intuition will tell you if this is the case for you, maybe you need to be spicing up your relationship a bit more. That doesn't just happen on its own. It's something you need to commit to. We do tend to think in long-term relationships that passion is something that happens spontaneously, but actually there's nothing wrong with scheduling that stuff in. So yeah, obviously that's something you would be aware of if it's relevant for you. What else does passion, it's about the heart, really. Passion is about the heart, and it's like an energy of self-expression. So whatever that means to you, I'm going to leave it there because passion is so individual. And I think that you need to spend some time thinking about what it really is for you. Oop. Aha! Balance, work, rest and play. Love it. Always think of the Mars bar with this. That used to be the slogan. I don't know if you had that in other parts of the world, but where I grew up, Work, rest and play is the Mars slogan, the chocolate bar. It's important for you to have fun along with fulfilling your responsibilities. So where are you out of balance? And I say this all the time, there is no such thing as perfect balance. But the better we can get at trying to rectify the areas that are wildly out of balance, the better. Are you working too hard, not having enough me time, not enough time with your passions? Really important. Play is also about passions. And play is not something adults are very good at. I just wrote a story about this. If you're in New Zealand or Australia, it's in the latest issue of Good Health magazine. Adults are not good at valuing play. We think it's for kids. We think it's frivolous. We think it's a waste of time. It's not. It's really important for your well-being, for lowering your stress levels, for reconnecting with your intuition, and just that mindfulness kind of practice of being present. So that's something you might like to address. And for some of you, they're saying it's rest. This is a really busy time of year, but really they want you to make this a priority, get more rest. And you know if that's relevant for you. Why are you staying up watching crap TV? Go to bed early. It's really important. Your body and your mind and your soul will thank you for it. Totally not lecturing, by the way. That didn't sound judgy. I have not been getting enough sleep this week, so that is particularly relevant for me. Now, I've done this really awkwardly. So we've got messages about patience, about leaning on the angels for support, feeling comforted. Those two are very strongly related, those Tuesday and Wednesday. Some forgiveness and healing. They are saying this relationship, there might be some healing that needs to happen which is related to something from the past that you need to forgive, potentially yourself or another person for, i.e. an ex. They don't make it easy, honestly, but we're all here to grow, and part of that is dealing with the uncomfortable stuff from our past. Facing difficult things makes us stronger. It's not, I wish there were a better way. Divine passion, getting in touch with our passions, and work, rest and play. I mean, those two are very strongly connected. So that's it for the week. I'll post these on my Instagram at One Grounded Angel. My Facebook page is One Grounded Angel. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, you can do that via my blog, which is www.onegroundedangel.com. Please, if you want to contact me for any feedback or questions, please do not do that via DM on my Instagram. I no longer check that folder because of the number of harassing messages I was getting on that, so I don't check it. If you do have a serious query and you want a reading, the way to do that is via my email address, which is on my blog, or the bookings form on my blog. Thank you so much for your love and attention. Have a terrific week, and I look forward to reading for you next week.